Who, in your opinion, is the most important anarchist thinker?
Well, any person I would mention is automatically disqualified because any honest anarchist thinker would simply immediately reject the description of being the most important anarchist thinker. Actually, probably the most important anarchist thinkers, at least that I know of, are poor, illiterate peasants in Aragon and Catalonia in 1936, who actually constructed a successful live anarchist society over a large area, industrial and agricultural. Most of them were illiterate. They left documents. So there are some documents left which are extremely interesting. And it wasn't spontaneous. This had been after efforts that had been going on for 70 years. Efforts that were attempts, crushed, try again, educational programs, all sorts of things. Finally, in the first year of the Spanish Revolution, it broke out and flourished. And it was so terrifying to everyone that every single power combined to crush it. The fascists, Russia, liberal democracies, put aside their differences to ensure that this would be crushed. And after they crushed it, they fought the war as the War of Succession. Well, they were probably the most important anarchist thinkers. And the same's true everywhere. You take a look at the say IWW in the United States. I mean, those were important anarchist thinkers who actually carried out actions, which led finally to the development of the American labor movement, which had been bitterly suppressed. The U.S. has a very violent labor history. Actually, you know about it around here. But their activities and others like them finally did lead to substantial successes. There's major attacks against them since, but those are successes of people who are constructing worker-managed, community-run societies, which is kind of an anarchist ideal. And this is very deeply rooted in the United States. People forget what it's like. I mean, there was a period in American history in which there was substantial victories for democracy through the 19th century. It was called, people who write about it call it the period of self-rule. It was based on the assumption, which is very widespread in the United States, that wage labor is not very different from slavery. I mean, that was the slogan of Northern workers who fought in the Civil War. In fact, it was even the slogan of the Republican Party. It was, slavery is, of course, unacceptable, but so is wage slavery. You have to control your own fate. You read the newspapers written during the period of the freest press in the United States, the late 19th century, where working people were running their own newspapers, communities and others. People in the mills in eastern Massachusetts, origins of the American Industrial Revolution, their press is what we would call anarchist. These are, Irish artisans from the slums of Boston, farm girls from what they called factory girls, young women coming off the farms into the mills. They just took for granted that those who work in the mills should own them, and that we should create our own self-managed society, integrating with others. That's a deep part of American history. It takes a lot of effort to crush it.